Dad, are we too late to stop the sale?
Better late than never. You wouldn't believe how much rare stuff there is back here.
That's Doc stuff. The city has no right to...
Now, son, I know you're upset, but your friend's been gone for months, and the city really seems hell-bent on using his land for that new parking garage. And, hey, is that a first edition Jules Verne?
It's just not fair. But at least things can't get any worse.
Hey, Marty.
Hi, Biff.
Come to see if the old crackpot had any buried treasure?
Remembering. Feels like that was a lifetime ago. Actually, I guess it was. Doc built this model at downtown Hill Valley way back in 1955. The clock tower in the courthouse even works. What the? Is that Doc's notebook in there?
Hey, that looks just like the courthouse. You gotta hand it to the old coot. He was good with his hands.
Biff, can I see that a minute?
This would look great in my fish tank. Give the old carp something new to nibble on.
You know, you and my folks go way back.
Yeah? So?
So how about letting me have that model courthouse, for old time's sake?
I think I'll keep it.
Give it here, Biff.
Well, well, looky what we have here. Looks like plans for something. What's a flux catheter?
It's none of your business. Doc asked me to...
Brown's worm food, kid. But this looks like it might be worth something.
Hope that wasn't poison gas or anything.
Hey, let me try, Marty.
Now, Biff, let Marty have his turn.
You got it, Mr. McFly.
Feels like that was a lifetime ago.
Enough of that junk.
Now, Biff.
Sorry, Marty.
Seems kinda empty without the courthouse. Doc must have whipped up some crazy compounds in that cauldron. It smells like beef stew. Seems kinda empty without the courthouse. Seems kinda empty without the courthouse. Looks like a hand-crank lightning rod, or maybe a lightning-powered pencil sharpener. I wonder why Doc didn't take any of these with him.
Does nature contrive it so that even with a time machine, you can intervene to prevent your own conception, for example?
Hey, Hey, Dad. Who's running this sale anyway?
Oh, that'd be me, son.
You? Why?
Well, once it became apparent that the bank was going through with the sale, I volunteered to oversee it in order to make sure that Doc's stuff would be treated with a modicum of respect. Isn't that right, Biff?
You got it, Mr. McFly.
Do you think dreams can predict the future?
Well, you know I don't go in for that mystical stuff, but I do think they can reflect how you're feeling about the future.
About Biff. Dad, I know you're trying to help.
He talks a big game, son, but he's not so tough. I've been dealing with him a long time. Believe me, I can handle him.
So can I.
I guess you can. Okay, son, I'll stay out of your way, but you know where to find me.
I'll keep looking around. Thanks, Dad. Let's make some noise. It took me forever to repair this thing after I blew it out last time, and now some jerk's gonna pick it up for pennies. I better not crank it up anymore. I really don't want to blow this thing out again. Hey, Dad, why's my guitar got a price tag on it?
Sorry, son. Must have been an overzealous clerk. Just pick it up. I'll iron things out with the bank.
I better not crank it up anymore. I really don't want to blow this thing out again. Here's an oldie, but a goodie. 1, 2, 3.
Hey, look, it's Chuck Butthead. Let me show you how it's done. Now watch me blow the lid off this joint.
Whatever you say.
Whoa!
Rock on, Biff.
Oh, shit.
Doc, where are you? Doc? Einstein! Where'd you come from, boy? Didn't you bring Doc with you?
Marty?
Ah!
Marty, if you're hearing this recording, then the DeLorean's automatic retrieval feature is a resounding success.
Automatic retrieval?
In case of my failure to return to the DeLorean within an allotted time, I programmed the time machine to jump to these four-dimensional coordinates without me. As you are well aware, time travel is an inherently risky activity, and despite my elaborate precautions, there's always a possibility that I could land in trouble sometime. And that sometime is now, or then, or maybe later.
He's in trouble.
Marty, you come to my rescue in the past, or was it the future? Anyway, I'm relying on you to do it again. Please take the DeLorean back, or forward, to whenever it is I'm stuck in time. When you get there, I'm sure you'll figure out what to do.
That's it? Aren't you gonna tell me when that is?
Just go to the date specified on the time circuit readout under the heading marked Last Time Departed. Good luck.
Right. Last time departed. Oh, jeez. Come on. Crap! Oh, great. How am I supposed to find him now? Okay, Doc, I know I haven't seen you in a few months, but I'm pretty sure this isn't your shoe. I can use those to enter a date into the time circuits. Once I know when to look for Doc. Looks like the time circuits still work. Now I only need to know when to look for Doc. I can use those to enter a date into the time circuits. Once I know when to look for Doc. What kind of trouble is Doc in, Einie? What do you know about this shoe, Einie? Great Scott! I think he's onto something! Okay, now we're getting somewhere. How's this supposed to lead me to Doc, Einie?
Step away from the door!
Ah!
Now, let me get a look at you.
Einstein, come on!
Just as I suspected. Hooligans! Get along now! Scat!
I'm not a hooligan, ma'am. I'm a teenager.
I wasn't born yesterday, young man. Aren't you the miscreant who skateboards through the town square every morning between 8 and 8:30 in a decidedly unpunctual manner?
Yeah?
All skateboarders are hooligans. It's a fact. Look it up. State your business, child. You're making me miss Merv.
Well, see, that's the thing. I'm not sure why I'm here. Einstein here brought me, and...
Well?
Can you let me in? I've got something to show you.
What is it? Let me see.
Nah.
A shoe? Now, what would I want with a... Huh? Stay there! creature outside.
Sorry, Einstein.
Well, took you long enough.
There's a lot of stairs.
To return the shoe, I mean. I lost it ages ago. You can put it down next to the other one. Much better. So neat and orderly. I suppose you'll be wanting some sort of reward now.
No,
All I've got is tea and candy.
But...
I'm sorry I called you a hooligan. I try not to jump to conclusions, but after all, 9 out of 10 people in this city are hooligans. It's a fact. Look it up. Have a seat, Sonny. Hey! You kids! Put out those cigarettes!
Oh, I wouldn't do that if I were you. Ms. Pretty Whiskers is very particular about who handles her food.
mind if I take a look?
Go ahead, dear.
Man, these are powerful. I could see Biff going into the video store.
You wouldn't believe the filth that boy watches. Yeah, he's nothing but an out-of-control hedonist, just like his father.
If there's a clue to finding Doc out there, I'm not seeing it. I don't even know where to start looking.
Don't touch those! My newspapers are in pristine condition and meticulously organized. Not about to let some street punk get jam all over them.
What are these?
My editorial trophies.
Cat Lovers Quarterly?
It's legitimate journalism.
Is that Vice Principal Strickland?
Mother never could keep little Gerald out of her clothes.
Man, she keeps it hot in here.
That's the kettle. I'll be right back with some tea. Then don't touch anything.
Hey, mind if I use your binoculars for a sec?
Go ahead, dear.
Hey, there's Jennifer's mom coming out of the market.
Mrs. Parker? I find it curious that she always uses the same strapping red-headed bag boy. Don't you?
If there's a clue to finding Doc out there, I'm not seeing it. I don't even know where to start looking.
There's the whistle. Surely the water's boiling by now.
Oh, look like they've got sticks up there.
What's that, dear?
Nothing. Juveniles collide with manure truck. Nice picture. I can't leave now. Miss Strickland's my only hope of finding Doc. Einstein brought me that shoe from the past, but When in the past? Stop looking at me.
Yeah, that's peculiar. The water still hasn't come to a boil. There's the whistle! Surely the water's boiling by now.
Brown Mansion destroyed. 1962. No, that's not where Doc's stranded. I don't even know where to start looking for clues in these stacks. Wish I could narrow it down to a year at least.
The polite guest stays out of the host's kitchen, Mr. McFly. That's what you get with these cheap, foreign-made kettles. But trying to find an American one nowadays...
Miss Strickland?
Jack! Diane! I know what you're doing behind that tree!
Yes? Do you remember when you lost your shoe?
Shoe?
That shoe over there.
Oh, that shoe! Huh. Aye, what a nosy Nelly! No one likes a busybody, you know.
But...
Oh, fine, let me think about it. Yes, I remember. I lost it in a scuffle with a dog. Oh, when was it? Oh, yes, the day that speakeasy burned down.
a speakeasy? In Hill Valley?
Don't act so surprised, young man. Your generation doesn't hold a copyright on moral depravity, you know. Sin has been on the prowl in Hill Valley since the day it was founded.
Wow, a speakeasy. That must have been wild. Is it true they used to drink gin out of slippers like my grandma said?
Don't romanticize the past, young man. Prohibition was a time when gangsters ruled the town while honest citizens quaked in their beds.
So where was it? That speakeasy that burned down, I mean.
That was ages ago. If you're looking for bootleg hooch...
No, I'm just curious, that's all. I'm a student of history.
Student of history, my Aunt Fanny. Yeah, your generation of hooligans and slackers could give two ripe figs about history.
Miss Strickland?
Oh, video store!
Huh?
The speakeasy used to be hidden in plain sight down there in the town square. Right where that disgusting videotape rental store squats today.
So the video store building must have gone up after the speakeasy burned down.
The following year, as I recall.
Don't let me keep you from your business.
You there! Don't even think about tossing that Kleenex on the ground!
Would you mind if I stepped out for a minute? I just remembered a video I've got to return.
Do you have to go? I get so few visitors these days.
but...
And I'd hate to have to tell my brother, your vice principal in charge of discipline, how rude you were to me. Especially with graduation coming up and all.
Excuse me, Miss Strickland? Doing some stargazing?
No, I set my sights on lower things. Is that?
Tim Tannen! Get away from that hubcap before I call your father!
What's with all these newspapers?
This is my personal archive. I've got every issue of the Hill Valley Telegraph ever published.
Get out! Every single issue?
From 1871 to the present. If it happened in Hill Valley, you'll find it in my stacks.
I guess somewhere in these stacks there must be an article about the speakeasy burning down.
Naturally. I probably wrote it myself. I was quite a reporter back in the day.
Any idea what date that article came out?
Well, obviously the day after the speakeasy burned down.
Don't let me keep you from your business.
I told you not to touch those. There's the whistle. Surely the water's boiling by now.
Firm announces plans for Lone Pine Mall, Peabody Ranch to be rezoned for commercial development. Alright, Einstein brought me this shoe, and Miss Strickland lost the shoe on the day the speakeasy burned down. But when did the speakeasy burn down? I at least need to know the year. Clint Eastwood plunges to death on runaway train. I don't even know where to start looking for clues in these stacks. Wish I could narrow it down to a year at least. Hey, mind if I use your binoculars for a sec?
Go ahead, dear.
Rebuilt in February 1932. So the fire must have happened before then. But when? I need a date.
Don't look at me. I'm far too old for you. There's the whistle! Surely the water's boiling by now.
Let's see. Ground broken on site of former speakeasy, singer vanishes, Hill Valley Expo delights crowd, soup kitchen exposed. Here we go. Speakeasy arsonist slain. Legal procedure gave way to old-fashioned vengeance last night when a mob descended on the Hill Valley police station. The suspect in the speakeasy arson case, a drifter known as Carl Sagan, was pulled from his... Carl Sagan? It's Doc! Killed by a mob. What's the date? June 14th, 1931. Jeez, I gotta rescue him.
My newspapers!
Sorry, Miss Strickland. Let me...
No! You've gotten my history out of order! Oh, do you know how long it'll take to fix what you've done? Oh, get out! Get out! Get out!
Help! Police! I'm being attacked by hooligans!
Marty! Where you been, son? And what are you doing in that getup?
It's, my uniform. Didn't I tell you? I got a job.
At the Model T factory?
Yeah. No.
Never mind, you don't have to explain. I'm sure whatever it is you're up to, you know what you're doing, right?
I hope so.
Hey, sometimes you gotta go out on a limb for the ones you love, right? Wish my dad had understood that. You won't stay away too long.
You'll barely know I was gone. You ready to go, Einstein? Time circuits? On. Flux capacitor? Fluxy. Okay, if Doc's gonna get killed on June 14th, 1931, I'll just show up the day before and get him out. I hope you know what you're doing, Doc. Einstein, where'd you go now, boy?
Young man! Excuse me, young man!
Who, me?
You're the only man in the street, and I'm looking for a man-in-the-street reaction. Naturally, you know about the explosion that destroyed this illegal gin establishment.
I read about it, yeah.
What's your opinion of Carl Sagan, the stranger who single-handedly did what the law has been unable to do for 10 long years, namely, rid Hill Valley of the scourge of liquor?
There's gotta be some sort of mistake here. Carl wouldn't do something like that.
It's surprising the lengths a person will go to when it's a clear-cut matter of right and wrong. You've got an honest look about you. You do support the side of righteousness, I trust.
How'd Doc get himself into...
Doc?
Doc is his nickname. I'm good friends with Carl.
You are? Really? Oh, but I need an unbiased opinion for my story. Pretend you don't know him. How would you feel about his heroic act of destruction?
Well, I'm not so big on bomb blasts.
Yes, but this bomb blasted a speakeasy, the very symbol of lawlessness and corruption. You're all for cleaning up the town, aren't you? Do you have a message for the vicious gangsters who still roam these streets, no doubt plotting to corrupt our citizens with another den of booze, sin, and debauchery?
Yeah, tell him, go ahead, make my day.
Make your day what? Never mind. I'll play around with it and see if I can come up with something better. Mr... May I get your name?
Yeah, it's... Michael Corleone.
Thank you for sharing your candid opinions, Mr. Corleone. Edna Strickland, Hill Valley Herald.
I know. I met you back. I'm familiar with your work.
You read my column? How sweet! I know it's just an etiquette column, but I believe it'll lead to bigger and better... Oh!
Einstein, no. Down, boy.
Is this wretched creature yours? He assaulted me once before.
What's got into you?
Aggressive dogs must be kept on leash at all times. It's the law. Look it up.
Doc. I gotta find Doc. Doc!
Marty!
Doc!
What are you doing here?
You sent for me, Doc.
I did? When?
May 14th, 1986.
1980? The automatic retrieval system. Of course. I'd almost forgotten about that.
So what's our plan for getting you out of here?
Plan? We don't need a plan.
We don't.
Not in the slightest. The police picked me up for that speakeasy fire a couple of weeks ago, but the DA hasn't got a case. They're releasing me tomorrow morning.
So basically, I traveled 50 years into the past to deliver your car?
Sorry about that, but it's so wonderful.
Hold off on that, Doc.
Great Scott! I'm going to be gunned down by gangsters on the steps of the courthouse.
Why would they do that?
Guess they didn't approve of my burning down their speakeasy.
Very funny, Doc. Maybe now we should come up with a plan?
A plan, right. But what?
Why don't we tell the authorities?
Tell them what? That my friend from the future has proof that I'll be murdered tomorrow? They'd ship us both off to the loony bin. And trust me, you don't want to see the inside of a 1931 insane asylum.
Hey, maybe I could talk to the gangsters. Tell them they're about to shoot the wrong guy.
I don't think the criminals of this era are going to be very receptive to a complete stranger telling them that their secret assassination plan is misguided, do you?
Why don't I take the DeLorean, go back in time before you were arrested, and stop you from getting caught in the first place?
Don't even think about it. Without my unjust incarceration, the events that sent you into the past might never happen, resulting in a paradox of continuum-shattering proportions.
Jeez, we've been back together for 5 minutes, Doc, and you're already talking about the end of the universe. I've missed that.
Don't be ridiculous, Marty. I was only referring to the end of the universe as we know it.
Well, I suppose I could just get some dynamite and break you out of jail.
No, that's far too dangerous. Not just to me, but to random innocent people in the past. The repercussions could be... That's it!
What's it?
My rocket-powered drill.
You have a rocket-powered drill?
Not yet. I haven't built it yet.
You've lost me, Doc.
Listen, a few months ago, my 17-year-old self sent in a patent application for a rocket-powered drill. I abandoned the project after I never heard back from the patent office, but the prototype should be nearly complete.
Great, I'll just run back to your lab and...
No, I said nearly complete. You'll need me to help you finish it.
How the hell am I supposed to sneak a half-finished rocket-powered drill into your cell?
Not me! 1931 me!
Wait a minute, Doc. You want me to convince your 1931 self to build a rocket-powered drill to break you out of jail?
Precisely!
How am I supposed to convince your younger self to finish the rocket drill? Just tell him I need to break his older self out of jail?
Absolutely not. Whatever you do, you can't tell my younger self anything about time travel. I won't come up with the inspiration for the flux capacitor for another 24 years.
Then what am I supposed to...
Just be your charming self. From what I remember, I'm a pretty easygoing kid, so enlisting me in a scientific adventure should be a piece of cake.
Okay, let's say I go along with this crazy idea. Where can I find you? I mean, the other you.
How should I know? It was over 50 years ago. Why don't you go over to the soup kitchen next door and give my house a call? They'll know where to find me.
Soup kitchen. Got it.
Just stay away from the soup. It'll cause irreparable damage to your digestive system.
I guess I better get started. Don't worry, Doc. I'll get you out of here in no time.
I'm not worried. Once you and my younger self put your heads together, you'll be unstoppable.
McFly!
Biff?
Kid!
Grandpa?
That's Mr. Tannen to you, Artie. What are you doing out here?
Well, I was getting kind of hungry, so I figured I'd come down here for some free soup.
Just thought I'd come down for some soup. Think, McFly. The DA's throwing around subpoenas like Babe Ruth.
I don't think Ruth's a pitcher anymore.
Shut it. If one of those subpoenas landed in the hands of my number cruncher, I'd be in a whole lot of trouble. I could even get sent up the river. You wouldn't want that, would you? Would you?
No, of course not, kid.
All right, that's better. What are you looking at, punk?
Keep your eyes on the soup, kid.
Well?
Well, what?
Well, what are you still doing here?
Sorry, kid. I'll just run back to the safe house.
You do that. And McFly,
Yes?
that hat's too flashy. You better let me hold on to it. Now scram!
You got it, boss.
And don't come out until I give you the all clear. I swear, if even one of you mooks could add 2 plus 2 without your fingers, I'd dump that wimp into the lake. Hey! Anyway, I'm off to make myself irresistible. Don't let anyone burn down the shop while I'm gone.
There's no way I'm gonna keep that door open without some help.
Brown residence?
Hi. Do you know where I could find Emmett Brown?
Young Master Brown is currently tending to his clerking duties at the courthouse. Who may I say is calling?
The courthouse? Doc never told me he worked at the courthouse. Okay. Hey, never mind. I better not talk to him. I don't want to mess up his timeline.
The kitchen's for management only, rummy.
Whoa! Looks like these pipes go into the basement. Hey, how you doing, Einie?
Don't touch those! These are very sensitive legal documents. Nobody is supposed to handle them but sworn officers of the court. Judge Brown says so.
Judge Brown? Doc. Nice to meet you. I'm Michael, Corleone.
Emmett Brown. But I am a law clerk, not a doctor. Now please get out of my way. I have important business to transact. Naturally, h2 of a multiplied by the inversion of h has to come out less than expectation value of a, right? What am I missing here? Or do we take h squared h2 of a multiplied by the inverse of a might be equal to h expectation value, but only if the coefficient of friction remains constant and the gravitational constant is variable. Wait, is that even possible? Oh, let's start over. Force equals mass times acceleration, of course. That's Newton. But how many newtons are required to maintain a constant mass if acceleration is reduced by the inverse derivative of the speed relative to the speed of light? Oh, which brings us back to h.
Hello?
No solicitors!
Listen, Emmett, you don't know me, but I'm your friend.
I'm not big on friends. They get in the way of work.
Listen, I understand you're working on a new invention in your lab.
Invention? You must have me mixed up with somebody else. I'm in law. I have absolutely no interest in science.
Come on, wait up a minute.
You again? Can't you see I'm busy?
Come on, Doc. Emmett, drop the Legal Eagle Act. I got something more important for you to do.
Mr. Corleone, I'll have you know that the law is the very mortar that holds society together, and we in the legal profession are like brick masons building the edifice of the future.
Your dad tell you that?
Every morning.
So, Emmett, what time are you through with work?
Depends. On weeknights, Pop sometimes keeps me in the office till 9.
9 at night? But today's Saturday.
Right. So I probably won't get off before 10. Not that I care in the least, because science is the furthest thing from my own area of interest, which is law, but I don't believe you.
It's true. I'm a scientist.
So tell me something, Mr. Scientist, from your vast storehouse of scientific knowledge.
The leg bone's connected to the thigh bone?
Amazing.
How about you knock off work early and I'll buy you a beer, or soda. What do you say?
Don't try to tempt me from my duty with sugary beverages. Keeping the wheels of justice turning, that's my one passion in life. Besides, if I left before 8, my pop would kill me.
Sounds like you're a little scared of your father.
Scared of my father? Pop is the most learned, just, incorruptible judge that Hill Valley has ever seen. The only people scared of Judge Brown are people with a dark secret to hide. And I don't have a dark secret to hide.
What's this important business you're up to?
It's a legal matter, very complicated, very abstruse. I need to obtain 5 sets of initials on every copy of this writ of indemnification before before Judge Brown can even think of granting a waiver to the party in the first part.
You have no idea what it's about, do you?
That's how important it is.
Okay, so you don't want your old man to know. That's fine. Listen, we all keep secrets. But I'm telling you, you can level with me about this science project of yours.
I am not a scientist. Go ahead, ask me what E equals.
What does E equal?
I have absolutely no idea. See? I don't know where you got your information from about me, mister, but you're wrong, wrong, wrong.
Will you just give me a chance?
Harassment's a federal crime, Mr. Corleone.
Sounds like you're a little scared of your father.
Scared of my father? Pop is the most learned, just, incorruptible judge that Hill Valley has ever seen. The only people scared of Judge Brown are people with a dark secret to hide. And I don't have a dark secret to hide.
Come on, you can trust me, Doc. Emmett, it's your future I'm looking out for, in more ways than one.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about you and science.
Oh, that word again! If you insinuate I'm a scientist once more, I'll sue you for defamation of character!
I don't need to go in there anymore.
stands for one-dimensional harmonic oscillator, then naturally...
Will you just give me a chance?
Harassment's a federal crime, Mr. Corleone.
Sounds like you're a little scared of your father.
Scared of my father? Pop is the most learned, just, incorruptible judge that Hill Valley has ever seen. The only people scared of Judge Brown are people with a dark secret to hide. And I don't have a dark secret to hide.
Emmett, about your...
Don't say it. Or do we take H to stand for Hermitian line operator?
Marty?
Ah!
Marty?
Ah!
In that case, H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A might well be equal to A's expectation value, but only if the coefficient of friction remains... Oh, let's start over. Force equals mass times acceleration, of course. That's Newton. But how many newtons are required to maintain a constant mass if acceleration is reduced by the inverse of... relative to the speed of light. Throw it from spot to edge.
Marty?
Ah!
I'm going to be the inverse. Oh, yes. No. Not possible. No. Or do we take H to stand for the Hermitian line operator? H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A might well be equal to A's expectation value, but only if the coefficient of friction remains constant and the gravitational constant is variable. Wait, is that even possible? Now, if H stands for one-dimensional harmonic oscillator.
Psst, Doc!
Marty, have you found my younger self yet?
Well, I met your younger self.
Great.
And I gotta say, you're kind of uptight.
What?
You won't even talk to me.
I find that hard to believe. Tell me what happened.
I tried asking him about your rocket drill, but he says he's not a scientist.
What? What? Oh, Father.
What's he got to do with this?
In 1931, I was still deathly afraid of my father discovering the truth about my scientific predilections, so I carefully kept them under wraps, practicing science at odd hours, away from his prying eyes.
That sucks.
It sucked a lot. Fortunately, I eventually stood up to him, but right now, my younger self probably thinks you've been sent by my father to check up on me.
What do I do to convince Teen Doc that I'm not a spy?
I'm not sure.
Why does your younger self mutter all the time?
Muttering? Why would I be muttering? I never mutter unless... The Hill Valley Expo!
The Expo?
Yes, the Expo! How could I have forgotten? In a few months, the younger me will put on a demonstration at the Hill Valley Exposition, my first public foray into the world of science. Everyone in town will be there, including a number of noted inventors who shaped my career.
So, it was a big success?
No, it was a miserable failure, but it was a spectacularly miserable failure, one which marked my transition from an amateur garage scientist into a professional seeker of truth.
does this expo have to do with you muttering all the time?
When I was younger, I used to relieve stress by working on complex mathematical conundrums. No doubt my younger self is working on some impossible problem in an attempt to work off cerebral steam in the weeks before the exposition. What was I muttering about?
I don't know. H to the something with an inverse of something else. I'm not so good at equations.
That's too bad. I bet if we could solve my younger self's problem, he'd be more inclined to listen to you.
You know, your younger self seems really dedicated to the law.
It's a facade, I assure you. I had to keep up appearances to appease my father.
Let's talk about your younger self's problems later.
Okay, but don't forget we're on a bit of a deadline here.
Marty?
Ah!
Now, if H stands for one-dimensional harmonic oscillator, or do we take H to stand for Hermitian line?
I don't want to record them right now.
Oh, think, Emmett, think. H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A. H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A. Oh. Let's start over. Force equals mass times acceleration, of course. That's Newton. But how many... Oh, think, Emmett, think. H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A. H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A. Oh. Acceleration is reduced by the inverse of its limited speed.
So, Doc, does this ring a bell?
Oh, think, Emmett, think. H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A. H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A.
Good grief! Is that me? I sound so...
Young?
I was going to say intense. I forgot how wound up I used to get.
Yeah, but what are you muttering about?
Oh, that's easy. It's Ivanov's conundrum. Just tell my younger self that H equals a Hamiltonian operator.
Won't giving him the answer mess up the time stream?
Only if it turns out that reality is actually nothing more than a holographic illusion created by the interplay of subatomic particles on a vast two-dimensional membrane.
So...
It'll be fine.
Will you just give me a chance?
Harassment's a federal crime, Mr. Corleone.
Maybe H equals the Hamiltonian operator.
What did you just say?
I said maybe H equals the...
Hamiltonian operator?
Yeah.
Great Scott! If H is the Hamiltonian, then H to the A multiplied by the inverse of H can only be the same as the expectation value for A. That's it! That's the solution to Ivanov's conundrum, the problem I've been wrestling with in my head all week!
I'm sure you would have figured it out by yourself in a day or two. The way you figured out how to build that rocket-powered drill.
Where did you learn so much about science?
Well, it's like this.
You know about my rocket power drill? Then there can only be one explanation.
What?
You're from the patent office. I confess I didn't quite know what to expect when I sent the paperwork, but I never expected this. Welcome! I'm at your service. What can I do for you?
Can I see your rocket-powered drill?
Of course, of course. Naturally, it's just a scale model, but it's nearly operational. I can show it to you, say, first thing in the morning?
Nah, that's no good. I need to see a full-size model. That's fully operational. Tonight. Otherwise, we'll have to award the patent to a competing inventor, Dr. McCoy.
It can't be done! I mean, it might be possible to construct a full-size working model in that time frame, but I haven't got the main ingredient for the fuel.
I'll get it for you. What is it?
190 proof grain alcohol. And you know how difficult it is to get a hold of alcohol these days.
Especially now that someone's blown up the speakeasy.
And besides, there's no way I can get off work until I've delivered the subpoena. It's part of the investigation into the business affairs of Kid Tannen. Is it vitally important you see that rocket-powered drill today?
Yes. Is it vitally important you deliver that subpoena today?
Yes!
Listen, I'll help you deliver it, and I'll see to it you get the alcohol you need. If it'll help you get that drill finished by tonight. Deal?
Deal. Here's the subpoena.
Arthur McFly? I've got to subpoena my grandpa?
Shh! It's Kid Tannen.
Hey, I just saw him at the soup kitchen, yelling at Arthur McFly.
I'm not surprised. Arthur does the books for his business.
What kind of business?
That's what the DA is trying to find out.
Let's go talk to him.
No!
Why not? Kid Tannen can tell us where Arthur's hiding.
Yeah, well, he can also have us fitted for a Chicago overcoat.
Hey, Miss Strickland.
Oh, hello, Mr. Corleone. Try not to draw any undue attention my way. I'm on the trail of a hot new scoop, as we in the newspaper business say.
What's the scoop?
I've heard rumors that something shady is going on at the Sisters of Mercy soup kitchen. It's under new management, you know. And, oh, we mustn't jump to any conclusions. Not till the facts are in. I hope to heaven it is just a rumor. That soup kitchen is the front line in the good fight. If it goes bad, what will happen to the Stay Sober Society? Not to mention all the charitable institutions that depend on me for soup deliveries.
Did you finish the story you interviewed me for? About Carl Sagan?
Yes, but those pig-headed editors at the paper rejected it. They said my story was slanted, and that I was glorifying a suspected arsonist. As if their stories aren't always glorifying the criminal vermin that run this town. This whole thing makes me so mad I could spit. Though of course I never would. There's an ordinance against it, and it's so untidy.
What's the Stay Sober Society?
You haven't heard of the SSS? They do the most marvelous work, taking hopeless drunken bums and turning them into former hopeless drunken bums. I'm one of the founding members. And not to say that I was ever, well, you know. Anyway, we've always met in the cellar of the Sisters of Mercy soup kitchen, but for some reason the new managers don't want us down there, so we're stuck. We've got nowhere to meet.
I know a place where the Stay Sober Society can meet.
Oh? Where?
The Brown residence.
You mean Judge Brown's place?
Yeah, I happen to be good friends with his son Emmett, and he's told me the judge would love to lend his place out for, you know, good causes like yours.
Really? Why, that's the most generous, public-spirited offer I've received in a month of Sundays. Please, tell your friend Emmett we accept. The meeting isn't due to start for a little while, so that'll give our people some time to set up.
I'm sorry about the way Einstein lit into you back there. I don't know what got into him.
Well, I hope you've learned to keep him under control.
Yeah, I found someone to keep him distracted.
Very good. Now let's see if you know your multiplication tables.
You make hot soup deliveries?
It's one of my many small contributions to the good cause. Healthy bodies, healthy souls, or so one hopes. I pick up barrels of hot soup at the kitchen, and I deliver them hither and thither. Hill Valley Orphanage, the St. Francis Xavier Ranch for Unwanted Children, Foggy Mountain Home for the Incurably Insane, Shady Acres Rest Home. Oh, I can barely keep track of them all. It's a very big job.
Hey, I can help you deliver soup. I donate a lot of time to charities.
Oh? Which ones?
The, Mario Brothers.
Ah, yes. The Italians do so many good works.
If you'll just fix it so I can pick up the barrels of soup.
Now hold your horses, let's not get overeager. I drive the soup cycle in this town, and I'm not about to turn it over to an upstart. But if you're well connected with the local charitable institutions...
Yeah?
You can let me know when they're running low on soup.
As a matter of fact, I do know a local charity that's running low on soup.
Oh? Who?
The Stay Sober Society.
Bless you for thinking of them. But that meeting isn't scheduled to start for a little while. And we wouldn't want them eating cold soup.
You asked me to tell you if one of the local charities is running low on soup.
Does somebody need a visit from my soup cycle?
The orphanage.
My, how those little ragamuffins can eat. All right, Edna, just think of all those poor unfortunates and hold your nose. Mr. Donnelly!
Hey, cue ball.
What?
The truck just arrived with a fresh shipment of, soup.
Soup?
Well, this is the regular soup, and this is the special soup.
Right. Special.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm spicing up the soup. It's my secret recipe.
Listen, this ain't the Savoy, and we ain't here to feed these bozos no fancy soup. The boss has got a business to rebuild, so knock off the goofing and mind your post.
All right. Just try the soup. Well?
I can see why you want to keep this a secret.
Hey, where do you think you're going?
The kitchen?
The kitchen's for management only, rummy.
Excuse me.
Yeah?
Could I have a bowl of soup?
We're a soup kitchen. What do you think?
What kind of soup is this? It tastes like...
Scrolle ribolita?
I was gonna say week-old cabbage.
Everyone's a critic. Look, all I got to work with is this 2-bit soup in a barrel and spice rack that hadn't been restocked since the Coolidge administration. What do you think I should do to perk this slop up?
Let's see. Have you tried... giving the soup a little heat, maybe?
Why, is it getting cold?
No, I mean, like chili powder. Muy caliente.
Oh, bit of a tough guy, huh? Actually, I like it spicy too, but it's gotta be edible for the common folks.
Come on, a little dash isn't gonna kill anyone.
Aw, heck. You got moxie, kid. Let's spice it up a bit, shall we? The kitchen's for management only, rummy.
Whoa!
Like a thorn bush in a drunkard's hand is a proverb in the mouth of a fool. Heavy. Huddle up, Emmett.
Huddle?
Just listen up for a second. Any ideas about how to get the hooch?
Hooch?
The alcohol, Emmett.
One might come to the conclusion that the... Now, if I could get my hands on some of those barrels, I could weigh them and compare their specific gravity.
Specific gravity? Come on, Emmett. Kids' goons aren't gonna let us do an experiment on their barrels.
Oh, I suppose you're right. We'll just have to ask the guy behind the counter.
What? Ask him if any of his barrels are filled with illegal moonshine? Get real here.
Well, I imagined a modicum of subtlety would be used.
Subtlety. Right. Emmett, I can't get into the door over there. Those tables are jamming it shut.
The door? So your plan is to just waltz in there and take a barrel of alcohol?
No, of course not. That would be stupid, right?
I'll say.
Still, I'd like to get that door open. I can't do anything from out here.
Well, it's a simple matter of physics. A lever, some sort of stop. Let me see what I can come up with.
Excuse me.
You talking to me?
Why's the soup in a barrel?
'Cause it's hard to ladle off the floor?
So this place used to be a soup kitchen.
What do you mean used to be? Despite recent changes in ownership, this joint is still available for the purposes of distributing food to the needy and the not-so-well-to-do. And no other purposes whatsoever.
Right. What's a tough guy like Kid Tannen doing running a soup kitchen?
Mr. Tannen purchased the soup kitchen from the Sisters of Mercy in an effort to repair his reputation as a respectable community figure after his fine name was besmirched by the malignant and malicious the actions of the misguided vandals that done burned down his place of business.
His speakeasy.
I cannot confirm nor deny any claims of so-called illegal bootlegging at the... Just eat your damn soup, pipsqueak.
Okay, I've got some more ideas about your soup.
Do tell.
Let's see. Have you tried... parsley? It might help to, complement the mellow flavor of the cabbage.
Compliment the mellow... What are you talking about?
Trust me.
You might be on to something, kid. Let me see what I got.
Eureka!
Emmett.
Yes?
Oh, that's interesting.
Just a little mechanical ingenuity. In the end, the door is open.
Yeah, good job. Obviously, this kitchen isn't the speakeasy.
Indeed. This must be some sort of front meant to cleverly and legally obfuscate the existence of a hidden establishment of ill repute. Perhaps in the basement.
Right, that might explain the elevator. We'll score that hooch somehow.
I'll keep cogitating.
Pretty neat, Doc. Nope. I'm still not getting through here. But at least those tables are propped up now. I better not talk to him. I don't want to mess up his timeline. I still think the soup needs more flavor.
Ah, Miss Strickland. Come for some more soup?
Come now, Mr. Donnelly. You know I wouldn't set one foot in this mockery of all that is good and decent if the poor of Hill Valley weren't so dependent on Mr. Tannen's overblown show of generosity.
Was that a yes?
Just give me the soup before I gag on the hypocrisy.
I'll tell the boss you said hello.
I'll just bet you will.
Edna picked up the barrel of hooch. Now all I have to do is to get it from her somehow. Nice bike. Huffy?
Huffy? I'm not huffy. I'm passionate. Passionate about justice, safety, law, and order.
Never mind. Hey, Miss Strickland.
Oh, hello, Mr. Corleone. I'm afraid I haven't much time. The meeting of the Stay Sober Society is due to begin very soon.
I'm sorry about the way Einstein lit into you back there. I don't know what got into him.
Well, I hope you've learned to keep him under control.
Yeah, I found someone to keep him distracted.
Very good. Now let's see if you know your multiplication tables.
You asked me to tell you if one of the local charities is running low on soup.
Does somebody need a visit from my soup cycle?
Never mind, I'm wrong. The pool hall isn't a charity.
Certainly not.
I got a book.
Oh? Where?
Hey, Miss Strickland.
Oh, hello, Mr. Corleone. I'm afraid I haven't much time. The meeting of the Stay Sober Society is due to begin very soon.
You asked me to tell you if one of the local charities is running low on soup.
Does somebody need a visit from my soup cycle?
The Stay Sober Society.
That's right! They'll soon be gathering at the Brown estate, and we haven't provided refreshments. I can't get over the generosity of your friend Emmett, volunteering his father's house for our meeting.
Huh? Michael! What in the name of Thomas Alva Edison do you think you're doing?
Don't you get it? You need alcohol to run your drill, right? Those bootleggers at the soup kitchen won't let us get our hands on any of their hooch. But we can get Miss Strickland to pick it up for us and deliver it right to your door.
No, out of the question.
Why?
I can't just let strangers invade my parents' house. What do we know about these people?
They're sober. It says so right in the name.
Well, okay, but a Pop needs his peace and quiet at the end of the day. This meeting is sure to be too noisy for him.
So get your dad a pair of earplugs.
I can't tell my father to wear earplugs.
They'll be quiet. You'll be quiet, right?
Oh, yes! I play my tambourine very softly.
You hear that?
Yes, but...
But what?
But it's still impossible.
But I promised Miss Strickland. It means so much to her.
The answer is still no.
But think of the Stay Sober Society. What'll happen to them?
They can all fall off the wagon for all I care.
Okay, forget the whole thing. We don't have to test your rocket-powered drill tonight.
We don't?
No, I'll take the train back to Washington and I'll tell the folks at the office to give the patent to Dr. McCoy.
Wait! You will instruct the members of the society to wipe their feet before they come inside.
Then you are Emmett Brown. I thought as much. You have such a righteous face. Edna Strickland, I don't know how to thank you for your generosity.
Pleased to meet you.
The feeling is mutual.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
You worry too much, Emmett. Now all we gotta do is serve that subpoena, and we're off to build your rocket drill.
And get my patent.
Yeah, your, patent. Hey, how you doing, Einie?
Einie?
It's short for Einstein.
Einstein, of course, because he was a patent officer just like you.
This subpoena's for Arthur McFly?
Have you seen him?
For a few seconds in the soup kitchen, but I think he's gone back into hiding.
Brilliant deduction, Einstein.
Maybe later.
about Kid Tannen? What do we know about him?
He's loud, he's obnoxious, he's not very bright, and he doesn't like anybody getting in his way.
Yep, that's a Tannen, all right. We'll get that subpoena delivered. My name isn't...
Michael Corleone!
Yeah. I better not. Those lawyers sound kind of nasty. Lamont's House of Ermine. I guess there's not much call for fur coats in the middle of the Depression, especially in June. I guess this is where the speakeasy burned down. How'd Doc ever get mixed up in that? I wonder who really burned down the speakeasy.
You gonna buy anything?
No.
Then get out, bum.
What the hell, Matches? You got kiwi all over my socks!
Sorry, boss.
Get out of here. How about you?
Huh?
I'm sitting at a shoe shine booth. You walk up. Either you're here to shine my shoes, or you got a death wish. Which is it?
I'm looking for a guy named Arthur McFly. He's my, sort of a relative.
Well, he's my employee. He's very busy today.
So when do you think Arthur will be leaving the office?
When I tell him he can leave the office. Hey, you Mr. Spy.
Since you're Arthur's boss, you know where he is, right?
He's at the, office.
Where's the office?
I forget.
Isn't that Arthur McFly's hat you're holding?
It was McFly's hat. Now, it's my peanut ball.
Could I buy Arthur's hat off you?
Could you keep your mind on your work, huh? Shoeshine boy? I'm hanging on to my peanut ball.
Can I have some peanuts?
Why not? I'm a magnanimous kind of guy. Go ahead, knock yourself out.
Don't mind if I do.
All right, break time's over. Back to work.
How come you won't let the Stay Sober Society hold their meeting in the cellar of your soup kitchen?
We got other plans for that cellar, and it don't necessarily involve staying sober.
About Arthur McFly.
Yeah?
So, one more thing about that hat.
You're testing my patience, boy.
Never mind. I guess you won't talk about your business.
Why not? I got nothing to hide. I recently acquired controlling interest in the Sisters of Mercy soup kitchen.
Isn't a soup kitchen an odd line of business for a guy like you?
I like soup. Plus, I got a heart as big as all outdoors. Buff a little harder. I want to see myself in the toes.
Edna Strickland thinks your soup kitchen might not be on the up and up.
That dame gets on my nerves. Got a great pair of gams, though.
How's that? Shiny enough?
Yeah, that'll do. Stay nearby, though. I scuff easy. Wait a minute. Didn't I see you at the jailhouse, John, with that Carl Sagan rat? I hope you weren't planning on trying to spring him, because I got other plans. And keep an eye on Trixie. That broad's going all squirrely on me.
You got it, kid.
Well, you gonna stand there like an okie, or you gonna shine my shoes?
My mistake.
Yeah, you're a mistake, all right, meathead.
Just think, in 55 years I'll be able to rent 5-year-old movies on this spot. Gale, Zemeckis, and Fine. Attorneys at law. No solicitors.
How can I help you, sir?
Without any money, I don't really have any business in there.
Really, how did I do that? The look over there trick. Wait, what was this Alphonse description?
I need to get this subpoena into Arthur McFly's hands, so young Doc will have the time to help me bust old Doc out of jail. I need to get this subpoena into Arthur McFly's hands, so young Doc will have the time to help me bust old Doc out of jail.
Okay.
Brown Estate, Klondike 51038.
I'm gonna try using this.
I don't think so.
Wait, what?
Maybe not.
Wait, the soup kitchen locked or something? Wait, can I go behind it?
Not sure what that... Not sure what that... Not sure what that... Not sure what that...
Okay. Help Emmett serve papers to Arthur's McFly. Where's the paper place?
Nah. 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 We'll get that subpoena delivered.
What? Always falls for the look over there gag. How do I do that?
Wow, looks like they used a real shark. Majestic arms. Transients welcome. About that Carl Sagan guy. I'm sure he wasn't the one who burned down your speakeasy, social club.
You're touching a sensitive nerve, shoeshine boy. A little more rubbing, a little less talking.
How's that? Shiny enough?
Yeah, that'll do.
How do I do the look over there trick? Oh, nothing. Any gags I have?
Just think, in 55 years, I'll be able to rent 5-year-old movies on this spot.
How do I find this?